Alright, hey guys, my name is Virus and welcome back to the channel. Today I got some dev server footage for you guys. Now, on Monday there was the dev server, the first dev server for 1.85, and in it came all of the supersonic jets. Yes, that's right, supersonic. That means faster than the speed of sound. And the Italian tech tree as well. So this Christmas we are going to get spoiled by Gaijin, and plus they're probably going to have lots of events, but I gotta say, guys, this is probably one of the best updates, in my opinion, that I've ever gotten to play and experience, even on the dev server. The Italian vehicles, I've got to play every single one of them, or at least the top tier ones I played a lot of on my stream, my Twitch stream, link in description, as well as the Discord server that I announced that stream on. But yeah, the Italian tree was kind of a lot of German vehicles and guns, and so I know we kind of expected that, but it kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But obviously German guns are always good, so I mean, I guess that's a plus in its own. But in this video, we're just going to focus on the top tier jets that have been added, including the new premiums. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So the first one we're going to look at today is the MiG-19 PT. Now this is the Russian supersonic jet that we're going to be getting for, obviously, the Russians, with a battle rating of 10.0. Now this is the first 10.0 jet that has ever been in War Thunder. So obviously you can expect with, that speed, there's going to be that BR increase, as well as the other armament this can get, which is the R3S air-to-air missile that you can see on the jet right now that I'm flying, which is, the MiG-19. Now, this thing has a top speed of 1,397 kilometers an hour, which means it easily breaks that sound barrier and has no issues doing it, that's for sure. But it's also armed with two 30mm cannons, so not a lot of guns. However, they do pack a punch when they hit. I usually just ripped wings right off of enemy jets, and with a 13 or 14 kilogram burst mass, it definitely shreds and has no issues taking out enemy planes. Next up, we have the American supersonic jet, the F-100D at 10.0. Now this thing has 4 M39A1 cannons. I think that's what they're going to be called. The name seems to be a bit bugged at the moment. But it can also be upgraded with a crazy amount of ordnance. As you can see there, you can have bullpups, you can have hydras, you can even have 4 AIM-9B Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. Now this is 2 more than what the Russians can get, but I feel like they perform a little bit worse than the Russian missiles do. I don't know if that's true, but it's just from what I've felt. Now, I don't know the exact statistics of every rocket, and obviously everything is still completely subject to change, as I mentioned before. So, as of right now, though, it does feel like the Russian rockets are a little bit better, or Russian missiles, I should say, are a little bit better than the American ones, but obviously you get more. So this thing has a top speed of 1,458 kilometers an hour. That's with the missiles, by the way. It goes a little bit faster than that without them. And man, is it ever fast. If you get this thing on deck and just going straight full WEP afterburner and everything, you can get this thing up to some crazy speeds and very easily break the sound barrier. But you do have to be a little bit higher up in the sky because I think the air resistance is just so much down low that you have to get higher up where it's a little bit less drag on the plane, and then you easily break the sound barrier going straight. So it'll be interesting to see how this counters the MiG. I haven't been able to get into too many dogfights on the dev server because a lot of people are just flying around in their 9.0 jets, so I haven't been able to really test them. But next up we have the British jet. Now notice how I didn't say supersonic, and that is because this thing cannot break the sound barrier going straight. At least I don't think it can. On the stat card it says that it only goes 991 kilometers an hour with the ordnance I have selected, which is the 4 Fire Streak air-to-air missiles. Now, once again, with more missiles, I have a feeling that these ones aren't as efficient at hitting their targets as, say, the Russian ones. Not to mention this thing also can get 4, or has 4 30mm Aiden cannons, so it's gonna shred, absolutely gonna shred. If you get into the firing range of this thing, and you get in front of its guns. And I know firsthand that these Aidens absolutely destroy, obviously from the Hunter and just from playing this thing on the actual dev server against other jets. And now on to the premiums. So for Britain, we are getting the Meteor F Mark 8 Reaper. Now this thing is nuts. If you look at the loadout I have on the wings right now, you can see this thing carries a crazy amount of ordnance. And that is why it is one battle rating higher than the Tech Tree Meteor Mark 8. It can carry 16 RP3 rockets and 2 1,000-pound bombs, which means this thing is going to be a crazy cast plane for the British Tech Trees, and is definitely going to complement the Challengers quite well, I think. And just like the other Meteors, it comes with the Hispano Mark 5s, 4 of them to be exact, and it has a top speed of 962, so once again, it's not supersonic. This is just a premium jet that they're going to get, so sort of it's just going to help players get to the new jets and stuff a little bit quicker. And for the premium that America gets, we're moving on to the F-86 F-35. Now this is basically just another Sabre, but it is a premium, and so you can get the 16 HFARs, the 2 1,000-pounder bombs, and it goes 1,106 kilometers an hour, and it's basically just a Sabre. That's all I can really say. It's a Sabre, and it's premium, and it'll help you with the grind. And that's practically it. So if that's your type of thing, if you want to grind with another Sabre, then go for it, I guess. I don't know. And last, but certainly not least, where would we be without a Russian premium? This is the MiG-15 BIS ISH. And you can kind of see right now that there is something peculiar on those wings. Those are weapon pylons, and basically they point down towards the ground and launch the rockets down at the ground, basically, but at an angle, so it's a bit weird to get used to. I haven't been able to kill anything with these, even against the reserve tank bots. I was unable to kill them with the rockets, but it does get two kinds. One that is, I think, more of a high explosive a rocket, and then there's also a heat one with 150 millimeters of penetration. Now if you'll let me point your attention to the top right of your screen, you'll notice a little red outline. Now in that outline is actually the new modifications for the helicopters to counter those air-to-air missiles that you have seen on the jets. Now the top one is called a exhaust modification unit, which I believe changes the direction of the exhaust out of the helicopter to up, so it's a little bit harder to detect from the IR seeker head on the missiles. Next is chaff, or flares I should say, so that is the ability to shoot out flares to sort of distract the IR seeker once again. And then the third one is just a direct counter to the IR and apparently blocks your signature. Not entirely sure how that works. And now on to probably one of the coolest additions in the sort of the weapons category here. It's got to be the air-to-air missiles, right? So the air-to-air missiles are very finicky, I gotta admit. It's definitely not a 100% chance to hit, especially if your target is moving. It is so easy to shake these things off of your tail if you're getting locked onto. But as you can see here, I start the lock. So the first thing you have to do is you have to turn the missile tracking actually on, and that'll be like a few seconds of like a startup, so you can't lock onto anything while that's happening. After that, it'll start flashing quicker and quicker, or turn red as you do here. Then you hit another button, which is the fire button, and it tracks onto your target and blows them up. Now, that was very lucky that I hit that guy. Normally, you don't actually hit them, ever. If that guy would have moved, I'm pretty sure it was actually a bot, but if that bot would have like even evaded to the left or the right the slightest little bit, that missile probably would have lost tracking and would have just exploded and done nothing to the guy somewhere off in another continent. And that is just how crazy or crazily finicky these rockets can be, and are definitely sort of situational, so I don't think they're going to be very overpowered. Now, I haven't been able to test them on helicopters because everybody that I've seen has been trying out these new supersonic jets, right? So haven't been able to test them on helicopters to see if they're easy to evade, but obviously helicopters have flares, they have that exhaust modification, and then also the straight up ECM jammer thing. So I don't know how useful these are going to be. We'll have to wait and see till like on patch day But yeah, unless your target is flying in a straight line, there's absolutely no way you're going to be able to hit them reliably. But yeah, guys, that is it for today's dev server video on the new jets and modifications for the air vehicles that are coming in 1.85. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. I spent a lot of time trying to get all the pictures and then the replays files and all of that, and I'm pretty sure the dev server is about to close too, so I got it in the nick of time, but unfortunately couldn't get any Italian gameplay yet. But hopefully they open up another dev server. If they do, then I'm just going to spend the whole dev server playing the new vehicles and the Italian tech tree. As you can see in my lineup here, I also have the M3 Bradley here, and this thing is so much fun to play. I cannot wait to show you guys that. But yeah. Oh, one other thing I should mention before we go, the H1Z actually gets lock-on Sidewinders as a modification here. I didn't really want to go over it as like its own sort of replay thing file, just because it's sort of it's not that important, but helicopters do have Sidewinders, but only the H1Z as far as I can tell. The Russian ones do not, and then the German ones also don't. So yeah, it's kind of going to be interesting to see which ones actually get them. I'm sure that the Russian ones will get Iglos and stuff like that in the future, but as of right now, only the H1Z has them. But yeah, sorry. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.